Hello from my new vlogging camera because of last week's incident. This week, I am itching for some knickknacks. One of my favorite videos I've ever done when I took, well, thrift store items and made them not so And so that's exactly what we're gonna do this week. If I'm being completely honest, it's mainly because my fingertips are still healing from making fairy wings. Initially, I had a sewing project planned for this week, but we're gonna take that and just gently place it here. And in the meantime, I am at the thrift store and I'm gonna go just peruse for things that we can make not so ugly and inevitably get the comments that they looked better before. That's it. So let's go inside. Also, I got 2 coupons because the man that I dropped off my donation bag said that a smile is worth 2. All right, let's go. The goods have been secured. Now it's time to go get myself a little treat. I'm a firm believer that if everyone in the world just got themselves little treats now and then, it would be a better place. Also, if everyone could just stop being racist and homophobic. Baby steps. All right then, let's talk about what I got. A segment called My Goodies. Goodies, not my goodies. I would say mission successful. First, actually being something that I procured a couple months ago. Little shield. So I am 95% sure that this came from the local Ren Fair. Practice shields for the kiddos. Little LARPing session. Yeah, put them up. This wreath thing, $2.49 schmackaroos. Not too shabby. Little guy. Probably have to choose between these two. I got a mirror and a very inspirational little piece of art. So now that you've seen my goodies, I showed you my goodies, please respond. Let's talk game plan. Is there such thing as anti-ASMR? Because I feel like that's really the embodiment of my channel. First thing is that little shield. I'm gonna take that, sand it down, officially crack open my wood carving set that I bought for myself so optimistically 2 years ago and never used. So, surprise, we're learning how to woodwork. My plan for this is to make a sort of like a little coat of arms type thing with an acorn. I feel like that'll be relatively easy for my first time wood carving. Next. You know I gotta do it to them, and we are absolutely going to make one of those Hobbit door wreaths that I've been seeing all over the interweb and for some reason have not made one yet. Door decor. Doorcore. Not to be confused with the aesthetic based on doors and only doors. Now, because I struggle to do a project that I can't whip out my epoxy sculpt, for the rabbit, add some clothes and make him just whimsical as hell. Because I simply cannot look at a little woodland creature and not think that it necessitates tiny, teeny weeny little jackets and pants. And then the final item, work on the little square frame. I'm just going to paint the frame one solid wood color. We'll decide what we want to paint on the inside. All right, team, I think we're ready to start. Did I break it? No. We're good. Bad luck can't get me, not today. No, sir. Let's do some sanding. Because Epoxy Sculpt needs 24 hours to set, I want to get started on this little guy. Research time. Rabbits in clothing? Oh, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Ugh. It's not exactly what we're looking for. That's quite cute. All right, locked in. Inspiration received. If you've never heard me talk about Epoxy Sculpt before, here it is. It comes in 2 parts. You take equal amounts, A and B. Now kiss. And then mix them together until it's all one consistent color. I had to cast aside my good enough mentality when working with this stuff because it actually does matter how well you do this. Don't you hate when that happens? All right, we're Gucci. He is caked up. I like to think he's maybe mid-squat regimen. I'm gonna give him some overalls and then perhaps a little jacket. So first things first, I'm gonna make this very thin clothing-like. Let's get to work. Once I felt like my little guy was whimsical enough, I moved on to the acorn shield. Oh boy. Let's give it a go. Why not, right? As you saw, I have my little design here, my kit. I've always wanted to try wood carving, but I guess too intimidated. In my parents' house growing up, there is this giant chest that is all hand-carved wood. I think my great-great-grandfather made it, or uncle or something. I used to spend my childhood just like putting my little grubby fingers on there and tracing out. It's in my blood. Ancestors, bequeath me with your skills. All right. I guess I just gotta commit, right? We are going to carve away from myself and from any extremities, because if there's one thing I learned when I was a wee babe, this scar right here from when I took a stick from the woods and I decided to carve a wand with a kitchen knife. As you can imagine, I was whittling towards myself, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Oh, this is going to become my new personality. Oh no. Uh-oh, I may have officially entered my Geppetto era. Oh, I'm about to be so obnoxious with wood carving, guys. I'm so excited. Literally, I'm just gonna start whittling away at this. I'm so happy. Okay. Morning. I've got a lot of work to do today, but I've got my emotional support grandma cardigan, which I don't think has ever been washed. Also, the birds are out today and singing. I tend to underestimate the effect that that has on my serotonin, because I'll tell you what, I walked outside and I was like, we need to do 3 things. The epoxy sculpt has set. Come on, is that not the coolest thing? I want to give him a whole new paint job. Not too much different, but I want to make it a little less Easter. I love you. Then we need to make our Hobbit door, which should be pretty easy. Hold on, it's business time. Oh no. I need my millennial tendrils. Wait. That's better. It should be pretty easy. I do want to sculpt the doorknob. I'll probably do that out of clay. Finally, we can sit down. Little Bob Ross painting moment. I believe I know what I want to paint on this, but you'll have to wait and see. I just need to stain my little acorn crest, which will be really easy. Let's give it a go. added spice, I decided to throw in my resin that I just got. I gotta tell you, this is my new favorite thing. Moving on to the Hobbit door, I just used some spare EVA foam that I had and went ham. Initially I was going to make the doorknob out of clay, but the clay was rock hard and I have the grip strength of an 87-year-old woman. So I just made it out of epoxy sculpt. Once the door and doorknob were setting, I moved right on over to the painting. I feel like I just ran the craft equivalent of a marathon. But, oh, God, that was a close one. Now I can sit and relax and do a little painting. I don't know what it is about me that struggles with the term take it easy this week. Whenever I decide, you know, I gotta do an easier video, my smooth brain's response is, for sure, we will do 17 crafts. We took this lovely piece of wall art, have made the frame darker, as I am ought to do. I'm gonna paint on top. What I am going to paint, because I am nothing if not consistent in my obsessions, is the hand scene from Pride and Prejudice. Is this sort of ambitious for someone who rarely draws hands whilst realizing that they are notoriously hard to do? So so it needs to be a square. So if I crop in, all right, this is what we're doing, my friends. We are not going to get my sleeves covered in paint. No, sir, not this eve. Goodbye. There is just something so satisfying about painting over inspirational quotes. All right, I need to let this dry a little bit and then start mapping out the composition. When I tell you this was a trust the process kind of thing, because Mr. Darcy had hot dog fingers for quite a big portion of this. I think maybe my crafter's audacity has led me astray on this one. Oh, I don't know. Hands are hard. Listen, we're just having fun, okay? Nothing matters. As much as I am second guessing myself, I am having a blast. I think a lot about art and genetics and how weird it is that some people are just predisposed to want to create art and do crafts. It's just never been a question. Like, it's always been something that I love to do, even when I was younger. And yet neither of my parents were artsy. I just have always felt the itch. In fact, I have proof of this. Let us take a story time break. Chapter 1. A Cat That Breathes Fire. Once upon a time, there lived a very lonely, odd, and kind dragon. Every night a knight rang his doorbell. Once dragon opened it, they would run away. So one day dragon got a dog. He thought if he held the dog when the night came, he would look peaceful. Instead of being peaceful, the dog jumped out of his arms and chased the night away. Maybe I should get a cat. Saint Bernard, adult? So Dragon went to return the dog. When he came back, he heard a meow in the trash can. He picked up a little kitten. The kitten sneezed. Fire blew out of his mouth. Maybe you and me have a lot in common. I think I'll name you Toaster. Figures. They became the biggest pain in the butt around. They even set Mrs. Hose's flowers on fire.
One day, Toaster and Dragon went for a walk. Right then, a knight went up to Toaster and grabbed her. No need to worry, though. Dragon smoked him. Soon, they decided to take a trip to Scotland and stay in a castle. That's where Dragon met Nessie. They had 2 kids, Nestle and Jessie. You know Nestle now as Godzilla. Toaster died, but after having 3 lovely kittens. The end.
Gosh, I just feel like I'm making this worse. Just giving me flashbacks to art school. Freshman year, one of our assignments was to draw a ludicrous amount of hands. And I thought, I did a decent job. When presented to the class, it got torn apart. Mainly by the teacher, to be fair. But woof, Mama's ego took a kick to the shins that day, I'll tell you what. That's all right, though. We all need a dose of that. Now I'm on the internet, so I get a daily dose. Oh boy, okay. After deciding that it was very much adequate, I moved on to the other things that needed to be finished. This was a little tricky to stain, and I feel like the stain I chose was a little bit too dark. I probably should have gone a little lighter so you could see some more of the details. Whatever, I embraced the darkness. And to help it along 100 more years, I added some black acrylic paint in the little nooks and crevices. With that, I do believe everything is ready. Ta-da! Yep. The wrap up I'm gonna try to keep short and sweet because there are so many different items. Little guy. I'm quite pleased with him. I think he's cute. Just very spring. He's doing his best. I'm very happy with how the epoxy sculpt set because I'm running out of room to store little guys. I might give him away over on Patreon so that he can go to someone else's home. As always, names are appreciated. Then the wreath, I think, came out decently cute. I mean, it's just door decor. I'm not being too critical on it. I think what I might do that I've seen other people do online to really sell that it's a Hobbit hole door, put like the little sign that says no admittance except for party business, because I think that would be so stinking cute. Literally anything I can do to tease myself that spring is coming. I need it. The painting, ta-da! It looks like hands. I'm happy with it. It's very much an ick kind of photo. If you know, you know. But yeah, I'm not gonna be hard on myself on this. Hands are hard. I did my best, I think. As I would tell wee little art school Rachel, you did it. Good job. And then finally, the acorn crest shield for my first attempt at wood carving. I think it's cute. Like I said, it's a little dark, so it's kind of hard to tell the design, but I think once I have it up on the wall, it'll look like a historic piece of art, which is kind of cool. I am officially addicted to wood carving, and I want to do it to every surface in my entire home. I just needed something sort of simple for this week. I'll be honest, I've been running around between conventions and preparing and planning. Your girl's been struggling a little to keep up with everything, and my house is a disaster right now. Just been feeling a little bit overwhelmed lately, so back home I can kind of take a little bit of time to regather my wits. Next video, a fun little sewing project. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you like knickknacks. Oh, we kidding. You wouldn't have made it this long if you weren't one of us. One of us. That is it. I love you whether you are new or old to this channel. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, feel free to subscribe. I upload every other Friday.
And we have fun here. A photo.
And I will see you in my next video. Bye! It is so windy that my car is literally shaking.
Fighting down my hatches, boys!
Just thumbnail shit. Hello, I'm a human. Thank you.
He's a monkey me. He's a